Dezan Shira, a Pan-Asia, multidisciplinary, professional services firm assisting British businesses with market entry, legal, finance and HR in Asia. In partnership with H.W. Fisher, a top 25 UK chartered accountancy firm with over 25 years experience in advising Asia-based clients on moving and investing in the UK. This is Complex Made Easy with Dezan Shira and Associates.
Importantly, our UK clients often ask us, what do I need to know when hiring people in China or putting in place the secondment arrangement to eliminate the permanent establishment risk in China? When the foreign company wants to hire people on the ground, it needs to register a legal entity. Then this legal entity will enter into labor agreement with your potential employees in China that you found in China, and it will be responsible to withhold individual income tax and social insurance and pay it on behalf of those employees to the local tax bureau and local social insurance funds. We see some cases where our clients are misguided by someone locally that it might be okay for them to actually just engage this person from overseas directly as a consultant. However, this arrangement requires legal registration of a legal entity by a Chinese individual who you want to engage, entering into commercial agreement with his or her company, and the individual in China is liable to pay taxes under his company. Another option often suggested that to have the consultant agreement with this individual directly from overseas is okay. In fact, he will need to submit monthly individual income tax and social insurance manually, which is not in practice easy to do in every city in China and is often neglected by this individual. And as a result, that creates the liability of the permanent establishment for your company overseas. Foreign employees will need to apply for the proper work permit and residence permit in China, and therefore it is only one option of hiring them through your subsidiary that you need to register on the ground in China. Our UK clients often raise another question to us. What if I register an entity in Hong Kong, or maybe we already have an entity registered in Hong Kong? Can I then hire people to work on Chinese market or maybe travel to China as needed? The short answer is no. Hong Kong is a special administrative region, and company registered in Hong Kong will be treated the same as your company from the UK. It is treated as a foreign entity. So employees from Hong Kong, your employees of your Hong Kong entity, traveling to China, same as your employees from the UK headquarters, may trigger either a service fee or an agent's fee through their activities, depending on their activities. Under China-UK double tax agreement, if the employees of the foreign entity, it might be Hong Kong or UK, stay in China more than 183 days within the 12-month period, the PE can be stipulated. Often, tax authorities may also accumulate the period of different employees traveling from your headquarters to China. For instance, if your UK company is sending engineers to China to help with some technical services installation as part of your project and after-sales support to your customers in China, the PE might be triggered. The tax authorities can review the entry records during the audit, and if it shows that your engineer spent more than 183 days accumulatively, the PE can be stipulated. If the parent company in the UK wants to dispatch staff to its China subsidiary, it should be carefully arranged to eliminate the risk of PE. As long as your secondee is employed by Chinese subsidiary, which directs work of this secondee as well as undertakes risks, responsibilities for it, it does not stipulate the PE. However, if your UK headquarter company obtains some profit from China subsidiary through the activities of such employees, manages these secondees, then it is a risk of permanent establishment to be stipulated in China.
The process of employing people in the UK if there's a 𝐂𝐞𝐫𝐬, is very different than China. So what do you need to know? Firstly, you need to check whether the employee has the legal right to work in the UK. You will also need to get employer insurance as soon as you become a UK employer. You will need to pay your employees at least at the national minimum wage. You also have the responsibility to automatically enroll them into a workplace pension scheme. As an employer, you need to register pay-as-you-earn scheme to run your payroll. It's a scheme that the tax authorities uses to collect income tax and national insurance from the employment. When paying your employees through the payroll, you need to deduct tax and national insurance for the employees and pay this to the tax authorities on their behalf. The company as an employer also has to pay employer national insurance. If a non-UK employee is signed by a non-UK company to work for a UK company, the UK company will be treated as host employer. It has the responsibility to pay correct tax and social securities through PAYE. If the company has no 𝐂𝐞𝐫𝐬, is not obliged to operate the PAYE scheme when they employ non-UK employees. Otherwise, the employees need to notify the tax authorities to operate the PAYE scheme themselves to ensure they pay the correct amount of tax and social securities in the UK. To summarize, a non-UK company with UK trading activities need to consider carefully whether they have created a UK taxable presence in the UK. Given more employees are working remotely ever than before, so it is important to consider whether working remotely can constitute as a PE for the non-UK company, as well as for the overseas employee, whether he or she will be treated as UK tax resident.
I agree. Multinational companies should know how to mitigate the risk of the permanent establishment when sending employees to China, since potential liabilities arising from the unintended creation of the permanent establishment in China might be high. My final advice to UK businesses with China activities is to manage the international assignment properly based on the duration of the assignment. For the long-term assignment, generally longer than 6 months, it is better not to keep the assignee's home country employment, but to enter into the employment with Chinese subsidiary. If the home country employment contract is still required, make sure that assignee shall report directly to the local management. Short-term assignment, generally less than 6 months, keep track of all the travel records of all assignees to ensure that the accumulative period of their stay in China is not exceeding 183 days within any 12-month period. Also, avoid agency's PE by not assigning any employees who has authority to conclude or sign the contracts on behalf of the parent company.